Hi, Algebra 2. Today we want to look at section 1.3 and talk a little bit about algebra expressions. So there's a couple of things that we want to look at today. One is being able to write an algebra expression when we're given an English language situation. The second is to be able to combine like terms and simplify algebra expressions. And the third is to evaluate algebra expressions. So if we're given certain values for variables, can we come up with one number? So one of the things we want to think about is we're always kind of looking for words that tell us what's going on. So how do we know when we're adding? How many total? How many together? That type of thing. Those words let us know that we're adding. If we have equal groups and we're combining together, now we're talking about multiplication. If you make $50 a week, working weekends on your job, how much money will you have after 15 weeks? How much altogether? If you're separating out from a group, that indicates subtraction. So how many are left if you started with $50 and you spend $3 a week on candy? Or how much money do you have in your lunch account if you spend $5 per day on lunch? And then separating into equal groups, that would be division. So if you have a 600-mile drive and you're driving 50 miles an hour, how many hours would it take? So taking a look at a couple of examples. The number of seconds in H hours. Okay, so the first thing you want to think about is how many seconds are there in 1 hour? Okay, 60 seconds per minute, 60 minutes per hour, 60 times 60, 3,600 seconds per hour. So if we want to know, and that's in 1 hour. So if we want to know in H hours, we're going to multiply 3,600 times H. All right, so let's go back a ways. You remember order of operations. Okay? Anytime that we get asked to evaluate an expression, we're using order of operations to do it. And so you remember PEMDAS, P-E-M-D-A-S, parentheses, exponents, multiply, division, add, subtract. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. First thing is parentheses, that P means all grouping symbols. So that's not only parentheses, but that's also brackets. It's absolute value bars. It's a radical sign. It could be the fraction bar in a big division problem. All of those things are considered grouping symbols. Then your exponents. Multiplication and division happens in order from left to right. And we do all of that before we do our addition and subtraction, and that happens in order from left to right. So if we take a look at something like this example, we're asked to evaluate this expression for x equals 4 and y equals 7. First thing we need to do here is substitute these values in. Everywhere I see an x, I'm going to replace it with a 4. Everywhere I see a y, I'm going to replace it with a 7. All right. So we see a bunch of parentheses here, and I'm just using those to represent multiplication. There's nothing to simplify inside the parentheses. There's no exponents. So what we need to do then is all our multiplication and division in order from left to right. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 7 is 84. And then minus 2 times 7, that's minus 14. Now we add or subtract in order from left to right. So 4 plus 84 is 88, minus 14. And then that expression has a value of 74 once we've simplified it. And this is our pattern regardless. If we're asked to simplify an expression, we're given values for the variables. We substitute those in, use our order of operations in order to go through and simplify. All right, so another thing we want to think about is combining like terms. And we want to remind ourselves what that means to be like terms. Like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. So for instance, x squared and x have the same variable, but their exponents are different, so we can't combine those together. Constant terms have no variable part. They always have the same value. And all constants are automatically like terms. So if we were to try to simplify this expression, 3x squared minus 9xy plus 2 plus 4x squared minus 1. Well, you can see it, they've highlighted these two in red. 3x squared and 4x squared are going to be like terms. And then I have a minus 9xy. I've got nothing to combine with that. And then there's a plus 2 and a minus 1 that are also like terms. So now to combine like terms, I add or subtract the coefficients. So 3x squared plus 4x squared, that's like saying 3 turtles plus 4 turtles, it's 7 turtles. 7x squared minus 9xy, and then plus 2 minus 1, that gives me plus 1. So this is how this one would simplify down. So when we're combining like terms and simplifying expressions, the first thing we're looking for is identifying the like terms, same variable, same exponent. It helps a lot to rewrite it in order so that they're grouped up together. And then to combine like terms, you add or subtract the coefficients. So today we said we wanted to be able to write algebra expressions to represent English language words, and we did that. We said we wanted to be able to evaluate algebraic expressions using the order of operations. We did that, and we wanted to be able to combine like terms to simplify expressions. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to practice these skills in a couple of different ways. A real brief quizzes, so you'll be doing a multiple choice there, and then a Math Excel assignment where it's free response. So the directions on how to get to those are right in the assignment in Google Classroom. That's the work for today. Remember, for the E-Day today, you submitting your work, doing this quizzes, and doing the Math Excel is proof of your attendance for class.